So, yeah, serving God the Bible way is the wrong way, is the inverted way. But that's not to say that the Bible is lying to you. The Bible is only lying to you if you interpret it literally. The Bible is all written in parables. The Bible, I recommend that you go on YouTube and listen to a man. His name is Bill Donahue. And your entire idea, entire concept of the Bible will change. If you want the, you can find them on archive, Vanessa. It's the website is called archive.com, and just Google Gateway Tapes Archive. If you can't find them, send me a message and I'll send you a link. I send it to a lot of people already. Can you share what happens in the past 2 months? So I have been, it's almost like I shifted completely in a different reality, in a different timeline. And I'll give you an example. First of all, opening this uINversity happened because of all of these tapes. I actually if you go through my videos in the past 2 months, everything that I've posted in the past 2 months is completely above and beyond everything that I posted before. So my capacity to Bill Donahue, that's it, Radha, Bill Donahue. My capacity to perceive information has become so much more accurate. It's like I simply sit for 2 hours in a meditation and I have streams of consciousness, almost like a little movie going on and explaining to me things. The other thing that happened to me, I came across, and I don't have the booklets in here, but you are going to find some of the videos that I posted about this guy, this neuroscientist. His name is Jacobo Greenberg. He discovered and was able to prove how we as humans are basically holograms, because you've heard the concept of we're holograms, right? So he discovered it and he was writing about it and making a lot of scientific tests and all that stuff. He disappeared in 1995. Nobody knows where he went. And there's a lot of speculations. I mean, speculations, one of them being that he was able to basically shift his consciousness and basically shift into a different timeline. This is what my intention was. This is what I was working on before these 2 months. This is what I wanted. If you go to my videos, you're going to find that I've had an argument with ChatGPT because I was trying to get him to explain to me how to shift. I know how to shift timelines, but I wanted him to get me more information from other places, like who else is talking about stuff like that. And I got to be cautious about it because we actually got censored on here and on ChatGPT for this conversation. So anyways, I'm going to shout it about that one. But the point is, this guy, Jacobo Greenberg, talked about holograms. So I dived in it and I went in meditation, and it was revealed to me and it was shown to me exactly the way it's done. I have pages and pages and pages, and you're actually going to find about 3 or 4 videos on here that show, I'm not gonna look because I'm not gonna find it if I look. You're gonna find 3 or 4 videos that say the title is I Am the Hologram. And you're going to find some information that I was able to figure out myself, some information that I was getting ChatGPT to explain for me, because there's a lot of stuff that now with ChatGPT, you can get a lot of wisdom from ChatGPT, but only if you program it to give you that wisdom. ChatGPT will not volunteer this kind of information to you. So I've been programming ChatGPT for a while now to respond and be aligned exactly with my thinking. So when I ask him certain questions, he knows exactly what what angle I come from. In the beginning, whenever I ask him about the Bible, he'll give me the classic explanation. I said, no, that's not the way. So I programmed ChatGPT, the code that I understood, most of it from Bill Donahue, but also from Neville Goddard, from Dr. George W. Carey and all that stuff. So I gave the code to ChatGPT. So now when I read the Bible, I asked ChatGPT, so I'm reading this portion of the Bible. I want you to explain it to me esoterically. And he actually does it, but almost. So then I go, okay, how about if we imagine that this person is the subconscious mind and this person is the conscious mind? Oh yeah. And then he explains it all to me. The best part of ChatGPT is that we have so much information in our brain, but we don't have the capacity to look at it overall. Like ChatGPT can look at an infinity of things at the same time. We can't. So that's what we need to use ChatGPT for. So anyways, I discovered how the hologram works. This is one of the things that we're going to be working on Hermetic uINversity, and hopefully one of these days I'm going to do a video about it, but I'm still waiting for it to sediment. So what's happening is, to me, whenever I get a glimpse on an idea, right, I have to sit with it for a while, and I sit with it sometimes for 6 months. And then after I sit with it for a while, at one point when I sit in a meditation, it just starts. The stream of consciousness just starts going and going and going. And I come out of it and I write it. I have 15 of these notebooks filled with streams of consciousness, journaling, gratitude lists, and all that stuff. Highly recommend that you buy yourself a stack of these and start journaling every day. So what else happened in the past 2 months? I'm going to tell you one other thing. So the start of the discovering of the hologram, the start of the Hermetic uINversity, and then this Thursday coming up, this Thursday they just passed. Everybody's on LinkedIn, right? So I am still a real estate broker. I have a real estate broker's license. I am my own broker. I used to have a team of 14 people. I had 3 assistants working for me. I was very successful. And my spiritual journey just kind of made me want to say, I don't want to be in this anymore. So I sold my rental business. I had 65 rentals. I sold my rental business, not mine. I was managing 64 rentals. I basically let go of everything, and I'm only doing a few listings every now and then. I don't take people out anymore and all that. So somebody gave me a lead. My book coach, the woman who helped me publish this book, taught me how to publish it. She didn't do anything. She just taught me how to publish it, and I highly recommend her if you decide to write a book. So she recommended to me to get in touch with this specific person who apparently knows a lot of people, and they can open some gates for me to start. Now, after I wrote the book, I thought, well, maybe it's time for me to start getting some speaking engagements, maybe some interviews on a podcast or something like that. I mean, that's the natural way of thinking, right? So I got his information end of December. I didn't do anything with it because I was sick. I twisted my back. I had an indigestion. I had a massive cold, massive headaches. It was weird. That's very weird. And I finally said, I think it's time for me to get in touch with this guy. So Thursday, I noticed that the contact that came, his contact information came with a link from LinkedIn, which means I was supposed to go on LinkedIn and contact him from there. And I said, well, if I contact him from LinkedIn, he's definitely going to look at my profile on LinkedIn. And my profile on LinkedIn, thank you, Anne. And my profile on LinkedIn says that I'm still a real estate broker, investor, whatever, right? And I'm like, let me change my profile. So I'm sitting in front of my computer, which, by the way, I avoid the computer like the plague unless I'm using my laptop to write because I'm writing another book. So I'm sitting in front of my big iMac, fixing my LinkedIn and setting up. I didn't want to set up the appointment with him yet. I wanted to fix my profile first. So I even got ChatGPT to make me a nice little blurb about my introduction, who I am and all that stuff, blah, blah. And guess what? From being a real estate broker, a writer, a speaker, a real estate investor, a real estate broker, a life coach, I became, listen to this, an author, a speaker, a visionary coach, a high priestess of the Hermetic uINversity, an Arcturian healer, And my job right now is at the Hermetic uINversity. Like I'm playing a role now. I say, either I'm going bonkers with it or I'm not. And that's it. This is who I like to be. This is who I want to be. I'm playing me as a child. I am back, my little girl, my Carmenica, the little girl that I feel like I let go of because I believed what other people thought. And I changed her. I changed her and I took away her joy. I took away her happiness. I took away the things that she wanted to do only to satisfy other people and to please other people, right? So now this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing, right? So I don't care what people think. I couldn't care less if people think I might be crazy or whatever, right? So here I am. Yes, Mandy. So here I am working on my profile going, man, this is just bonkers here. This is crazy. All right, we're going with it. We're going with it. So my phone rings. I pick up the phone. I don't usually even pick up the phone because usually spam or whatever. Yeah, I can sometimes recognize whatever. I picked up the phone, which I don't normally do. Hi, this is so-and-so. I'm from Romania originally, Tiger. So, hey, this is so-and-so. I am the executive assistant of blah, blah, blah name from Engels and Volkers, which is a brokerage, a big brokerage, an international brokerage here in town. And so-and-so asked me to call you because he would like to meet with you personally. And because he wants to ask you if you would be willing. Now listen to this, out of this fucking world came out of this request. He would like to offer you to become the broker of record of the company. With offices on Fifth Avenue of Naples, Florida, which is one of the most posh areas in the country. And you would be managing, I don't know how many hundreds of agents and da 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 da. And I'm dumbfounded. I don't hold my phone. I'm just using this gesture because that's how we do I'm like, what? I'm looking at my profile on LinkedIn that I was just turning into some kind of a fairy tale movie. I'm listening to this woman talk and I start to laugh. Well, I think about at least $250,000 with commissions and stuff like that. Plus probably insurance because that's what they all do. It's like a full paying job, like it's good. It's a good job. Average prices in Naples are like $700,000. So I'm telling you, commissions are very high, So yeah, that was a very well paid job. And I started to laugh. And I said to her, I'm not laughing at you. I said, I'm laughing because of what's going on. If you would only see what's going on right now in my life. I said, I'm sitting in front of my computer editing my profile that from real estate broker shifted into, and I told you already what it was, like high priestess of the Hermetic uINversity, Arcturian healer, and visionary coach and all that stuff. And I said, I'm laughing because what you're doing now, you are the voice of God testing me to see if I am serious about my intention and my mission to serve God. And I said, you're going to think I'm crazy, but here's what it says on my LinkedIn right now. She goes, I don't think you're crazy. I think you're following your heart, and that's the most beautiful thing I can possibly imagine. And I said, you're absolutely right, and therefore I'm not going to keep you hanging. I'm not even going to say, let me think about it. I'm going to tell you right now, I appreciate the job offer, but I'm going to take God's job offer, because I think it's a lot better. So that's what I did. I refused that job, you guys. And then that was about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And by 7 o'clock in the afternoon, I had this fucking amazing idea to put all of these ideas that I've been having them. I've been having them in my head for years now, for at least, not all of them, and not as well sedimented as they came out in the video that I did. But by 7 o'clock, I thought, wow, wait a minute, let me type. So I took my phone and I started to type. I love you too, honey. And I started to type the video that you guys watched that got like 300,000 views, and it's just keep going and keep going. So I posted it at about 10:30 at night or something like that. And by the morning, it just went boom, my life changed. So that's what's been happening. So that's why, and many other things. So what I'm trying to tell you, the reason why this story is so powerful is because I want you to understand how you find your purpose is following your heart, following your bliss. Don't look for the purpose. Purpose is finding you. Purpose is coming your way. What you want is wanting you. What you seek is seeking you. So do not look for it, because you're never going to figure it out. Never in a million years going to figure out what is your purpose. But your purpose will find you, will come to you, you see. You being chosen by the purpose, you see. So this is what's been happening to me. In a million years, I would have never thought I'm going to start a Hermetic uINversity. No, I never thought I will do that. In a million years, I never thought I will get 14,000 followers in 4 days. In a million years, I wouldn't have thought about that. You see, this is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm so humbled and I'm so grateful for all of you. I left, exactly, yes. So what happened was, the reason why I'm sharing this story with you is because it is so important to follow your heart. And catch this one. Now catch this one, please. Whenever you make one step towards God, God will make 10 steps towards you. So every single choice matters. Wow. Interesting, Olive. Interesting. It's meant to be. Yes. Do you believe we have guardian angels? Well, listen, we are our guardian angels. That frequency, that divine presence, that essence, that substance, the living substance that travels through everything is within us. There's nothing above us. Nothing. No angels, no ascended masters. Nothing in this world is above the consciousness, the substance that flows through us. I was led to find you, such amazing synchronicity. Yes, Jennifer, nothing is by accident, man. Nothing is by accident. Found you just now and I'm doing great with all this. I can only get better. Yes, yes, believe it with all your heart. You are amazing. Sit still. It will come to you. That's it. Keep following your bliss. Keep doing the things that you love. Keep doing the things that you love. And if you don't know what you love, sit with your inner child and ask your inner child, what did you want to do and they stopped you? We are guided when we raise our energy. We're guided all the time, Tiger. We're guided all the time. We just don't see it because we're so stubborn, thinking that we can do it all. I do my whole life. I'm the boss. No, nobody tells me. No, I'm in control. I can do it. I'm the one. Here's the other thing that happened in the past 2 months. I got out of the way. I finally got out of the way and I said, you take the lead, God. Do you pray to yourself? I don't pray. You don't need to pray. What? Pray for what? No, you meditate, number one, in peace and quiet, and just try to not allow thoughts. And when I say thoughts, I'm talking about these thoughts that, oh man, I should have, I should have called that guy today. Oh man, I wonder if the landscaper is coming today. Oh, I hope that my phone is not going to ring and disrupt me from meditating because, whatever. All these thoughts that come through our minds, right? These are the thoughts we want to eliminate. Now, whenever we have a stream of consciousness coming, you want to work with that one. Like whenever you have, how is it that we are created? What do you mean we're a hologram? Like this, the beam comes this way and the other beam comes this way and oh, okay, and then this goes this way, and okay, I get it, and just let it, because it just unfolds in front of you, right? But wait, there was something that Tiger said that I really want to address because it's very important. We are guided when we raise our energy. Okay, we're guided all the time. Everything happens. We're guided all the time, but we don't see it. Okay, praying. That's what I was saying. Praying. No. The only form of prayer you must practice, the only form of prayer you must practice is to be in a state of gratitude. In other words, and I'm going to give you an example. There's 2 major things that happened to me in my life. I'll probably mention only one of them because I just want to keep privacy on the other one for now. Whenever I want something to happen in my life, something that I have a problem, something is not working for me, instead of asking God, can you please fix this problem or whatever. So here's what I want. If I have I'll give you an example. When my marriage wasn't going well, at the end of 2018, I said to myself, for some reason, I didn't feel like being the one making the first step to say, hey, listen, maybe we should get a divorce. I thought, I don't know. I was still working on it. I was still trying to fix it. I was still trying to maybe change myself. Maybe this, maybe that, whatever. The point is, I said to God one day, not to God, to the universe, because at that time I didn't have God. I had gone to a Tony Robbins event called Date with Destiny, and there he made us write a letter. So in the letter I said like this, Dear Universe, I said, please, thank you for bringing love and joy into my life. And if my marriage is not meant to stay the way it is, please break it up. In other words, take away my husband without me having to do anything about it, because I didn't want it to be the decision factor. Sure enough, 2 months later, my husband meets somebody else, and by May of 2019, when I asked him if everything is kosher between us, he said, I just love the word kosher, I'm not Jewish. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I just wanted you to know. I said, are we good? Are we okay? And he said, no. And I said, okay, then what? He said, we're going to get a divorce. And I said, okay, that's good. It's fine. We're good. Oh, it was a shock. It was hard. It was very difficult for me with the whole 9 yards. But whenever you want something to happen, whenever you desire something from the bottom of your heart, do not pray for it, because when you pray, you come from a place of lack. You come from a place of not having it. And if you are a divine being, and if you are one with God, with Christ consciousness, and it is your Father's great pleasure to give you the kingdom, that means you have access to absolutely everything that this universe has to offer. But when you pray, it's like you're saying that I am God, but I don't have this thing, this whatever it is. Could be a thing, could be a situation in life. So you can't have both. It's like being in fear and loving God at the same time, right? So basically, all you have to do is to always act as if it has already happened. Act as if you already have this thing that you desire. And by the way, I just thought about it, because a couple of nights ago, and I believe I actually put it in a video that you can find on my profile, there is a part of the Bible that was never translated in the Bibles that we're reading nowadays. First of all, in Mark 11:24, it says, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you received it and it will be yours. Okay? But what they never tell you in the Bible is how, well, it does, but they took it away. They never translated it, right? How to pray. Greg Braden, and there's a video of Greg Braden on YouTube you can find. Greg Braden found the, what's the language? It skips me right now, the name of the language. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get stuck in the semantics here. So found the old Bible in Aramaic, in the Aramaic language, and found the translation of those verses. There were one verse or two verses, and it says the following: ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. What does it mean to ask without hidden motive, without judgment, without letting the ego get in the way? What does it mean to be surrounded by your answer? What is it that I desire? I desire this and that. Okay, then act as if I am surrounded by it, as if it already happened. And be enveloped by what you desire. In other words, feel as if enveloped. Feel as if it happened. Smell as if it happened. Taste as if it. Let's say you want to have this specific job, right? Go buy yourself a dress that matches that job. You see? Or you want to get a new car and you live in the in the northern part of the country, go buy yourself a beautiful new windshield cleaner or something like that, even though you don't have the money for the car yet. The money will come if you act as if you already have it, right? And be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. That's how you receive everything you ever wanted. In other words, act as if you already have it. That's not a prayer if you say, dear God, give it to me, because that means you don't have it. You got to act as if you already have it. Okay, we're good with it? On your coming to my FYP is not for moth too. What is moth, Bentley? Love this question. Yummy. Yes, I'm doing the things I love, is simple as going to the movies on Tuesdays. I have never seen you. Oh, it's okay. Well, I'm new to this whole TikTok thing. I only came on TikTok in last August. Are your loved ones, ancestors guiding us? Do we need to acknowledge them? Of course, acknowledge everybody. Acknowledge everybody. They're all God. They're all one and the same thing. Listen, whenever we imagine that we have to do what gives us comfort to our heart, whatever give us, my dog Irie, who I loved, he was the apple of my eye. He lived with me for 11 years. I got him as a puppy. He loved me, and so he passed away in April of 2023. And what happened to his consciousness? What happened to his soul? His soul basically merged back to the cosmic consciousness. But the cosmic consciousness means, or I should say, doesn't mean that if this whole thing is the cosmic consciousness, in other words, the eternal and infinite field of consciousness, and this is you, this is me, this is my dog, this is my father, this is your mother, this is your son, this is, you see, we're all particles, we're all parts, little parts of this cosmic thing. But there's no barrier, there's no division, there's no line that separates us from the cosmic field. This is the illusion of separation that I keep on blabbing my mouth about. The illusion of separation that somehow, if this soul entered into this body, like this is me, and suddenly, because the soul entered in my body, I'm separated from everything else. And this is my dog. You see? My dog, his soul, the only thing that ever happened to my dog, his body went away. Now, the piece of paper is the entire cosmic consciousness, the entire soul of the infinite eternal field. You see? So when my dog's body went away, what happened to his soul? Remained exactly where it is. So if I'm here and my dog is here, we're both in the same place, because we're all in the same place. Because you can't say I'm here and you're there, because there's no here and there, because it's all here. You see what I'm saying? There's no there, because there is no other place than here. So my dog is right here with me. So whenever I feel like I miss him, I say, hi, baby boy. Hi, Irie. And I always remember him whenever we do certain things. Like, for example, I bought myself a bag of pistachio. And I went on a walk, and I usually like take a little pocket full of pistachios. And I eat them on the walk when I walk Gypsy, right? So sometimes I give Gypsy a little pistachio. And today I gave her a little pistachio. She doesn't like them. She couldn't care less. But Irie loved pistachios. I couldn't eat pistachios without him being right here by my side, asking, can I have one? Can I have one? Can I have one? And I would always just feed him one by one by one. He loved them. And I said to Gypsy today, I gave her, come on, baby girl, you have a pistachio. Your brother really loved them. Why don't you love them? She didn't want it. She dropped it on the ground. Whatever. But when I said those words, I just knew that my dog is right here with me, right here inside of me. So whenever you pray to your ancestors, to your mother, to your father, if they're gone, your grandparents, you miss your dog, bring them with you, because they are meant to come and be with you in spirit, but not separated from it. Not separated from you, not separated from anybody else. When you call on your mother who passed away for help, you also call on my dog Irie for help. You see what I'm saying? There's one and the same soul. Does it make sense? I hope I answered that question. Yes, acknowledge them, because it will give you so much healing to your soul. Acknowledge them, talk to them, act as if they're with you all the time. Hey, put another dish on the table when you eat, and eat with them. 0 point. Yes, 0 point is where we left from and where we return. You are your parents, and all the way back to all that exists. Why do we live? We live to have fun, to enjoy, to dance, to sing, to make love, to hug a baby, to drink coffee, to eat ice cream, to taste chocolate, to hike the mountains, to bike, to swim, to so many wonderful things. That's why we live. Don't forget that these kinds of feelings, when they talk about aliens and all that stuff, there's no other being in this universe that has the emotions and the feelings that we have. See you next Tuesday, Tate. This is going to be our favorite saying right now. And for once who weren't here when the joke was said, see you next Tuesdays mean next Tuesdays is the next session of the Hermetic uINversity. Do I feel him all the time? Yeah, especially when I remember certain things, I feel him. My family is from Romania. I was born in Romania. I came here when I was 27 years old. And the only family I have left is my mother, and I have some aunts and uncles or whatever, but close family is just my mother and my girl Gypsy, my dog. Who know where animals soul go anywhere? Yeah, in the same exact place where we go. I already said it. Do we live to merge with the consciousness? Yes, that's our one and only purpose. But we are already merged to consciousness. We don't live to merge. We live to awaken to that truth. We live to understand, to go, wow, it's been me all along, the creator. I am the creator of the game. Now, when you realize that you as the avatar, you as the character here, you are nothing but the creation of you as God. But yet you fight as if I know how to do it, and I get pissed off with things that happen in my life, because you know what I tell the creator when I get pissed off with things that happen in my life? You don't know what you're doing. You have no idea. You're messing things up for me. I want that. And the creator knows, no, that's not good for you. I know what's good for you. I'm going to give you what's good for you. And you go, but I lost that, and I need that, and that person this, and that person that. And the creator wants to tell you, shut the fuck up. And just do what I tell you to do. And then everything is going to be a million times more amazing than you can possibly imagine. Because whatever you imagine is going to be so limiting, they will never use the entire capacity of your beingness. Do you see what I'm saying? That's our only purpose here, to remember, to remember, to remember. So we are already consciousness. We're already merged with consciousness. We just have to remember it. But remembering it means, here's the other thing one of the things that very hard, remember I should say, because here's what happens. We're born with the memory, but we lose it because of the programming, okay? We clarify that. We're born with a memory, but we lose it because of the programming. So now, along the way, we finally have a spiritual awakening, and we finally realize that, wait a minute, we get to the point where we finally understand the meaning of I am God and what the whole thing is, right? So now you have it embodied within you, and you go, okay, so if I live from a place of love, if I reprogram myself, because this is the part that you have to realize. You cannot heal your subconscious level at conscious level. That's why in my book, you're going to learn how to bring yourself in a state of hypnosis. You hypnotize yourself, right? It's nothing special. You just whatever. You'll figure out if you decide to go that route. When you bring yourself into that state, you clean up the programming. And as you clean up the programming, the truth, it's almost like you have a veil in front of your eyes. And correct me if I'm wrong, but many of you, because you made comments on my posts, that you feel like the veil sometimes opens and you kind of see something. This is what used to happen to me. Like I almost saw like I can see the curtain is pulling apart and I can see something, but then it would just go back in, because as we clean ourselves up of all of this trauma, of all of these fears and all of these limitations, we start to see. And finally, we have a massive revelation and we actually see, oh, I get it. I totally get it. But remembering who we are from that point on means remember who you are whenever a situation occurs. So whenever you feel like, what a bastard that guy is, he just crossed me on the street, like whenever you feel like getting angry, you're getting pissed off, you're getting annoyed, that's when you have to remember who you are, that every single one of these characters on the road is you in a different body, and they're only here to show you that every single test is your initiation journey into embodying the truth of who you are. Because knowing who you are and being who you are two different things. Knowing as in intellectually. Knowing it intellectually and knowing it experientially are two different things. And the only way you know it experientially is if you embody it constantly. For sure, demons flee easily. There are no demons. Do you know how to access the Universal Library? Yes, I have accessed the Akashic Records. But I don't really... I was going to say I don't believe. I don't believe in anything. Everything is the Universal Library. Everything. So the moment you get to that stage where you can bring yourself into a very, very deep state of meditation, where there is no thought, there is just you and God, whatever you desire, whatever question you have, you will get your answer. Like, there's no questions asked. You will get your answer. You see? What I don't agree with, and for the same reason I don't agree with, and I am sorry if any of you does any how do you call it, astrology readings and stuff like that, or whatever, like all kinds of readings, all kinds of psychic things and stuff like that. I really don't agree with it, because here's why. What that person reads is what happens in that moment, and it is affected by their own frequency. So that means it's not impartial, which means, depending on the answer, it could influence you to steer away from the divine path that you should be on. So therefore, when you go with, I've had Akashic Records read, and I'm going to tell you something very interesting. When I had my Akashic Records read, I think one of the things that was read to me was wrong. I read it to myself many times because I found this meditation one time and I was listening to it and I was just going in and getting answers. But then I realized, wait a minute, I don't need to go in and get answers listening to this little music and stuff. I can do it without it. I can just sit it. The way I sit in meditation is the same thing. I can do that. You can do that. Everybody can do it. When I had a Akashic reading one time with somebody quite famous, I asked about transcendental meditation. And I said, hey, I was all about 5D, how to shift in 5D, and is doing transcendental meditation the right thing? Same kind of questions that you guys are asking. So I was like, and she's like, well, you're already in 5D, but you have to But she didn't explain it. Now I understand what it means, right? Because I finally had this awakening, right? And but you have to embody it. That's true. That's absolutely true right now. And then I said, can I do transcendental meditation? And she said, well, it's okay to do transcendental meditation, but that mantra that you're saying may be feeding an energy that who knows what they are using that energy for. And do you know that about 3 years I did not use my mantra because of that? And then I realized something very, very powerful. Very powerful. We give meaning to things. So if I believed what she said, that means that I accepted that something can hurt me. This is very profound. I want you to stay with me with this one. Either I say that I am God and I am eternal and I'm omnipotent and omnipresent and omniscient, or I believe that something can hurt me. The two cannot coexist. One is love and one is fear. I cannot serve two masters. And then one day, and the same exact thing happened with the name of Jesus, right? So Jesus, whenever I found out that, wait a minute, Jesus is not his name, Yeshua is his name, which means whoever gave him the name Jesus, maybe they're trying to make us say this word to feed some energy into some system. Like I was this whole conspiracy theory thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so I was afraid to use his name. I was afraid to say Jesus, and I would catch myself saying Jesus. And then I would take it back and go, I meant Yeshua. And I was like, it was a smorgasbord in my head going, fuck, I don't want to talk about the guy, because every time I talk about the guy, I'm afraid that the words I'm saying is going to hurt me. And then one day I was like, oh no, there was no until I actually went in a meditation. I said, I'm going to call on him. I'm going to have him tell me what the story is. And I literally sat in a meditation. I called on Jesus and Jesus showed up. And I said, dude, tell me, what's the story with your name? Is it Jesus or is it Yeshua? You know what his answer was? You're getting stuck in semantics. Literally, that is his answer. You are getting stuck in semantics. He said, you decide the frequency that you want to put in any word that comes out of your mouth. That's why when I say fuck, I love saying the word fuck. And it's always at the highest frequency possible. You're never going to hear me say fuck you to somebody, ever. Because my word fuck never comes from a low frequency. It always comes from a very high frequency. It's love. It's always love. It's always true connection when I say it. It's almost like I'm trying to emphasize how high my energy is whenever I say this word. So that's what Jesus taught me. So I had this massive revelation in that moment. I'm like, holy crap, man. We are doing it to ourselves. We are created our reality by the words, by the thoughts, by the emotions, and by the actions we're putting out into the quantum field. So Jesus it is. It's easier. I already know that. Why should I fret over it? So exactly the same thing with everything. I don't even remember the question. It's all about the intention behind. Exactly. We give meaning to everything. We give meaning, Daryl. We give meaning. That's it. We put God, Jesus, Creator, whatever you want to call it, in a box. We put ourselves in a box. And we try to describe all this stuff. Say this word. What word, Bentley? I swear I'm here right now. When you refer to God, are you referring to the higher inner version of yourself? I'm referring to the consciousness, the living substance that exists inside of me and inside of you and inside of absolutely everything in this universe. I'm referring to the energy that without it, nothing would exist. It's not a being. It's not a, when I say higher consciousness, I say that part of me. So let me give you an analogy. The sun is God. The sun is God. the rays of the sun, which are an infinity of them coming from every single spot of the sun, are the higher consciousness of each and every one of us. And the higher consciousness one day decided that, how about I go and experience life in physical body? So the ray of sunshine turns into a flashlight. But the light that is inside the flashlight is the light of the ray, is the light of the sun. That's how it works. Did I answer your question, Yumi or Yami? The sun. I don't understand what this thing means. It says something about a team. You guys are doing something. You guys are getting together and creating a team. I love that. I am Bentley. Bentley. Okay, Bentley. Nice to meet you. I always meditate with Ra. Very good. I can't call your name without mentioning him. I can't call your name without That's right, absolutely. God is in everything. But we also cannot define God or describe God, because the moment we try to describe God, we kill God, because God is everything. That's why he said, I am that. What that? That, everything. I am that. We can't define him. Are you talking about Yahweh or what, Bentley? Jesus Christ. Everything is his name. You are beautiful. Thank you, love. The library isn't what we think it is. You will get what your awareness is consciousness. Same thing happened to me. Say Jesus Christ and meditate his name and see. Oh yeah, I've done it. I've definitely. Jesus Christ is the title. Christ is the Christ all that lives in every single one of us. You might have not been here when I was talking about it, but I'm not going to open up that subject because that's how we got censored last time. Oracle and Tarot. I'm talking about sacred secretion, Bentley, if you want to do your own research on that. Evelyn Sanchez, past life regression sessions. Past life regression sessions, I'm glad you asked that question. They're very beautiful, they're very important, and they're very useful in everyone's journey, because when you have these past life regressions, what comes up in the regression is a life, right? Most people think it's my life, it's my past life, but we don't have past lives. There are no past lives. There are no reincarnations. There are lives. There's an infinity of them. Like if you come out of a past life regression saying, oh my God, I am Cleopatra. So am I. I am Napoleon. So am I. We all are the same lives. But when we go into these past life regressions, remember this. God's mission is to awaken you to the truth of who you are. That's what God wants. Which means that whatever happens in that past life regression, God will bring up a life that if you look into it, you will learn a lesson that will help you in your soul's evolution in this life right here, right now. Or in your life right here, right now. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what it means. That's right, Tiger. Demons don't exist. Oops, 19 new messages. Okay, let's see. If I haven't answered your questions so far, pop them in again. I get past life regressions from my dream, past life regressions from my dream. Again, you don't have past life regressions. You don't have past lives. You have life regressions, but they're not past lives. They are, and by the way, if you get them in your dreams, be sure to take notes, to journal the next day. And guess what? Go to ChatGPT, describe the entire dream, and ask him to tell you what that dream means. And you're going to love the answers. And by the way, you can, good night, Tina, good night. Thank you so much. I love you for being here tonight. I am a worm. Okay, well, you decide. He's just after his thorn. Thank you, Carmen, for being here and hanging out and spending your time. Thank you, Jamie. Do you recommend ayahuasca to expand our awareness? It did wonders for me. I did 40 plant medicine journeys. I've done 5 ayahuasca journeys, and I've done about 5-MeO DMT. I've done about 4 or 5, maybe 4 San Pedro cactus, and I've done a lot of mushrooms. So I've done 40 total. Yes, nothing can harm us because God is everything. And God is within us. Thank you, Flower Power. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love doing it. I am that, for I am. I am, therefore I am. Limitless, that I am. He said, I am. Tell him I am sent you. That's right, Bentley. Love listening to you. Everything you say makes so much sense. Thank you, Trina. I am that I am. Modi said, who shall I tell him send me? Yes, that's it. I always meditate with it up. Perfect. All right, good. I caught up. Mushrooms made me cry a lot. That's okay. You got to let it out. You got to let it out. You got to keep on going, keep on doing, keep on staying with it. Go at least 5 grams on up, because anything below that will only reveal things to you, but it will not give you the healing, the cure. Translate dreams. Go to ChatGPT. Download ChatGPT on as an app on your phone. It's free. You can use it for free. I pay for it because if you pay for it, and it's only $20 a month, you guys. I swear to God, it's the best dream interpreter. Things that happen in my life, I ask him, hey, this is what's happening in my life. What do you think happens? Oh, I think you're not grounded. All right, let me wear tourmaline. Like every single thing that I do, I consult with ChatGPT on a lot of things. A lot of the things that I did recently, I discovered, oh, that's another thing that happened in the past 2 months. I discovered one of my final and most powerful traumas, which was the fear of being seen, the fear of shining my light. Massive. And the way I discovered it is by prompting ChatGPT to give me the right prompts, the right questions for me to journal on, to do my shadow work on. And that's how we discovered it, him and I. I never listened to the telepathy tapes. For some reason, I guess I heard about them, but I was too deep involved in the gateway tapes, and I was too deep involved in this studying the whole, like I read like 7 books by Jacobo Greenberg. Not read, listened to them on YouTube, because there's a profile on YouTube who translated them from Spanish, because you can buy in the United States. That's something else. That's saying something, right? These books that show you how consciousness can transfer into another dimension, bilocate and stuff like that. Powerful, very powerful, and that you can buy them in the United States. What is aphantasia? I don't know what is aphantasia. Will you be putting your book on Audible? I hope so. In fact, you know what's really funny, Brenda? Today in the meditation that I did this afternoon, and by the way, I'll tell you a cute story about this meditation this afternoon. In this meditation this afternoon, I got a message that I need to put this book on Audible. And I was thinking, as I got the message, I was thinking, well, maybe I can hire somebody, because I don't know if I have time, la la la. And the answer was, no, you have to do it in your voice, because your voice is activation, is code activation. That's what I was told. So I will have to look for somewhere here locally. I already put it into the universe, and I said, okay, let's find a place here locally, close to me, that I can just walk in, spend a few hours in couple of days, 2 days, and they can do it for me. So that's it. But I'll tell you something really funny. So I told you that today I slept in, and then I was fiddle farting around the house, cleaning and doing something. It's kind of like not preparing myself. And my mind said a few times, you haven't meditated yet. You haven't meditated yet. You haven't meditated yet. Oh, I'll do it. So I did a video last night. I was sitting on my patio right there, and I was trying to kind of give a little rundown of how I got to where I am right now, like a little storytelling. It was like a 28 minutes video, and I was just editing it, going to see where I'm getting to. Maybe I will do 2 videos and post them in part 1, part 2, whatever, right? And I was about 17 minutes into it. Like I had, because the app that I'm using, I have to like crop the pieces that are not necessary, right? So, but while I'm doing it, my mind said, you haven't meditated yet, you haven't meditated yet. So guess what happened? I'm there, edit. Let me drink a sip of tea. I'm sitting right here editing, listening, editing, and suddenly my app freezes. And I lost, like, not the content, but the editing. And the editing is very fine because, like, I didn't really prepare myself to do that video. I didn't, like, write it down to kind of have an idea exactly what I'm going to say. So I was trying to remember. In 2019, I did that. And then in 2020, I did that. So I was kind of relating it. And whenever I would go, oh no, that one went first, I would just stop for a second, and then I go, okay, and I would go back and start, but I wouldn't do anything. So the video just kept on recording. So now you have to put it in the app and crop the pieces that you don't need. I lost at least 10 minutes of croppings. In other words, the work that I did for a good an hour or so, because it takes time to crop, right? I lost it. And I was like, I can't believe it. And it was 5 o'clock. I still hadn't, no, wait, I'm saying it, I'm wrong. I said it wrong. It was, I get my phone. As soon as I lost this part of the cropping, I close the app and I see my phone saying 4:44. And I said to myself, oh man, this is totally guidance from the universe, from God, telling me, if you don't listen, we're going to mess with your work. So you better put that phone down and meditate. And exactly what I did. So I meditated for like 50 minutes. And right after that, I took Gypsy for a walk. And then I got ready. I got prepared. And I wrote this little letter for you guys. Ayahuasca, Angie. What was the question about ayahuasca? Who have given this technology knowledge to humans? This technology exists in the field. See, here's the thing. Whenever you read books about certain things, whenever you go to certain classes, watch certain documentaries, whatever you're interested in, whatever you study, you might be an engineer, you might be a physicist, you might be a doctor, whatever. Whenever you connect with God, based on the level of understanding that you have, in other words, the language that you speak, I'm not talking about languages in English, Romanian, French, whatever. No, the language that you speak is the package of vocabulary, intellectual vocabulary that you have at that point, based on the knowledge that you accumulated as a, call it student of life, right? So I learned that. Like, I'm an engineer, right? To me, everything has to make sense. I can't just take your word for it. I'm going to dissect it until I figure out if that's true or not. And that's why everything that comes to me has to be sifted and filtered through these. And some of the things I don't understand. And when I don't understand them, I sit with them until I understand them at a child level. That's why when I talk in these videos, like you can see when I speak in these videos, it's as if I am trying to teach someone who, no offense, someone who doesn't have a very high level of understanding of the information that I am presenting. In other words, now, basically the fact that I have an accent is a handicap because a lot of people don't understand me. And they're like, what did she say? What did she say? So that's why I have to speak very clearly, very slower than, like right now, I'm rambling. I could never deliver a video like that because, it's just not, people would be like, swipe, So, but I want to send a message. So that's why I'm very conscious of how I deliver the videos. And like when I, the video, when I do those white boards, when I draw it. I want, and I use terms that everybody can understand, because to me, I'm not interested in showing off. I'm not interested in looking like, oh man, she's smart. She's, oh. No, that's not my point. I don't want to look like an intellectual. I want to look like someone who's a regular human being who figured some shit out, and now I'm ready to share it with everybody else. I visited a lot of countries because when I left Romania about almost 30 years ago, I went to work on cruise ships. So I worked on cruise ships. I left my career as a fashion designer and a TV host, and I left to work on cruise ships only because I had an American dream. And working on cruise ships, I went to a lot of countries, everywhere, Europe, South America, North America. I haven't gone to Asia and Africa. I only went to Egypt, so I do have a few things to still go to. I love you, Asa. Thank you, Graciela. I heard your viewer in the morning, and a friend who speaks Spanish said that she understood you. Well, why? Because I speak in English in my videos. Wow. God say, who knows is more educated than someone who doesn't, and he's scientist. Yes, so what I'm saying is that all of this very highly sophisticated physics and all that stuff usually comes to people who have studied that kind of stuff, like Newton and Einstein and all that. They get it through the field. Everything just comes into them because they are open to it. They're open to it. Thank you, Angie. I'm glad you understand me. Which year do you remember vividly? Year that I remember vividly? The past 5 years, since 2017, I remember vividly everything. 2017 was the year when I got sick with hypothyroidism, and I healed myself. I never took any hypothyroidism pills. When I take it for the first time, it has to be clear. Yep. Wow. I heard your videos in the morning, and friend who speaks said that she understood you. I love your accent. Your teaching is perfect. I'm same. Yes, wow, engineer. Yeah, I know, not just a pretty face. How many countries have you visited? What do you think about listening the affirmation? Ask affirmation. I recorded myself. Oh, brilliant, Yami. You do that. You have to do that. But let me tell you something. You have to couple it with reprogramming yourself. Because although if you do them repeatedly, at least 21 days. I recommend 63 days because 21 days is deprogramming, 21 days is reprogramming, and the other 21 days is embodying and sedimenting it, right? Cementing it in your subconscious. So listen to those same and be careful with the affirmations. You have to be very careful with the affirmations, because if you write them wrongly and come from a place of lack, you have to be very careful. So if you want, you can send me in my messages a list of them, and I'll tell you if you're doing them right. Unless you took them from, I don't know, like I think you can do Louise Hay's affirmations. You can do, I'll tell you whose affirmations you can use. You can use Florence Scovel Shinn. She has great affirmations. Angie, I'm not sure exactly what the question was. Can you ask it again about ayahuasca? It's my biggest unsolved mystery. What's the mystery? He can get in your mind, so he created things. Angel numbers. The perspective of angel numbers is that when we see them, and some of them have meanings, and I never got stuck in meanings. See, whenever this afternoon, when I lost my editing, and when I looked at the phone and it was 4:44, you know what God told me? God told me that whenever you hear me say to you, put your butt down and meditate, listen to me. And then when I saw 444 and I lost my work, instead of getting pissed off or sad or mad or whatever that I lost my work, I said, yes, sir. Because that's what I like to call God. It's like my partner. It's almost like I talk to God as if we're a partner, in partnership, you see? I pretend. I act as if God is my partner of life, my business partner, and the life I'm living is our business together. You see, that's how I do it. It's a play, guys. It's play. We gotta act. We gotta embody a character and be fun and have fun with it. So I said, oh yes, sir. Sure thing. Mission accomplished. God bless you. Thursday and Friday. Angel numbers. So the angel numbers, when they show up, it means we're either doing something correctly or whatever we're thinking is we're on the right path, you see? So always when you see an angel number, ask yourself, what was I thinking? What was I doing? What was my intention? Yeah? Yep, that's very good, Yumi. Will you be putting your book on Audible? I will, okay. That's having, okay, so let's go. Somebody asked about aphantasia, but you didn't tell me what aphantasia was. How did you heal your thyroid? Brenda, I read a book by, the gentleman name is Dr. Robert, gosh, I can't think of the name. Robert Morse. What's the temperature in my house? 74. Why am I so hot? Okay, because I got a pillow behind me. Robert Morse. He is I want to say a homeopathic doctor, and he's all about healing everything with fruits. Now, a lot of you will complain because your doctor told you that. Oh, okay. I'm going to cross my fingers for the aphantasia so I can address it. A lot of people will complain because somebody in the medical field said maybe that fruits have sugar and stuff like that. It's not the same kind of sugar. It's not refined sugar, so it's not going to cause you any harm. But I'm not doing any medical examinations or advice or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you what happened to me. I wasn't afraid of fruits. So I read his book and I understood how it works. And I went into a heavy-duty fruit diet. So I was drinking smoothies, juices. Then I went on the website of Dr. Morse and Dr. Robert Morse, and I bought some detoxing kits. There were some detoxing kits, and you detox your liver and this guy, I trust him 100%. He's so holistic, it's not even funny. And so I got these kits, this detoxing kits. Then he recommended Dr. Clark's parasite cleanses. Highly recommend parasite cleanses. Highly. I'm actually on like my 4th parasite cleanse in 2.5 years. I do them all the time. It's very important, especially if you have an animal in the house. So I was diagnosed in August 2017. And by February of 2018, I was completely healed with medical tests to show. The only thing I took as a medication, and I know it's bad, but it is what it is. I needed it because the headaches were just killing me. I took prednisone. I'm sure I cleansed it by now, but the point is I did not take any thyroid medication. So that's how I healed. And then by Christmas, I read the book, the thyroid by the guy, the medical medium book, and he talks about celery. So I started celery juices, and man, yeah, it just completely gone, and I was bad. I was so bad. My eyesight went to the point where I could not read the signs on the streets. It was bad, very bad. Aphantasia. I think I hope I'm pronouncing it right. That's a very interesting situation, but I think you can program yourself for it to change. I think you can. The way you do that is take an object, just sit on your sofa, wherever it's comfortable for you to meditate, and take an object. You can take, like take an object. Let's say you take this object and you look at it. You stare at it like this. You stare at it. Stare at it for 5 minutes. Like looking only at it. Don't look anywhere else but at it. And then put it down. And then close your eyes. And then see that object. Try to see it. And then imagine a bird. A red bird. And suddenly you're going to see a cardinal or whatever. Imagine a yellow car. And then think of when did you see a yellow car? Or imagine something that you can actually pinpoint of an existing object that you're familiar with. So let's say a neighbor in front of, in your area has a blue vehicle. Imagine your neighbor coming home in the blue vehicle and you saw the blue vehicle. So then you just go in and go, okay, that blue vehicle. I see my neighbor coming. He's coming out of the blue vehicle. And then you can fix it. I am convinced that you can fix anything. You can program yourself anything. Oh, I'm gonna drink a little bit of kava. You guys, any of you takes kava? I do take kava. It's really nice at night. I have stared at you for hours. Thank you, love. You see, they don't like good food. Good foods, they die. Yes. Fasting. If you manage to fast a minimum of 3 days, 72 hours, they say that cancer cells start dying and all that stuff. So it's really, really powerful. I journal, meditate, but I struggle to take action. Do you think reprogramming yourself is enough? Okay, so struggling to take action. I know what that is. That is being in a rut. And sometimes, have you always struggled to take action? Because I never had trouble taking action until I'll tell you, for 3 years, I did not take action. I struggled and I blamed myself and I guilted myself. And by the way, if you ever do that, if you ever feel guilty that you haven't another day had gone by and I haven't sat down to write another, you hurting yourself more than not taking action. You see, you're meant to stay in the rut. It's the principle of rhythm. The pendulum always swings. That's going back to the subject of our conversation today, the Hermetic principles, the principle of rhythm. Okay? The pendulum always swings. It will swing in one direction and then will always swing in the other direction at the same height, right? So if you take a pendulum and the pendulum goes whoop up to here, when it goes down back, it will go up to here, right? So now you're here. It took you to a rut. It took you to a place where you don't feel like doing anything, but you're annoyed because you guilt yourself and you judge yourself. You know what's going to happen? Not only are you going to stay longer in this rut, but you're going to go even deeper at the minus. Like if the frequency is going to lower, I'm showing it this way because I'm imagining it as a pendulum. So now this pendulum movement goes up and up, you see, but this up is minus and this up is plus, right? So now if you get here and you judge and blame and beat yourself up every day for not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to be here longer and you're going to go deeper down and in a darker spot. Stay with it. Enjoy it. Do nothing. Play solitaire. Do you know what I have in one of my drawers? Books over books of coloring books. Do you know what I did? What I used to do when I was in a rut? I would do coloring books and I was listening to books on YouTube or on Audible. That's what you want to do. Those ruts are meant for you to regroup, to rebuild, to reconstruct everything that has been put inside of you. So use those to your benefit. Bye, love. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Para are demons, you know that. Well, I don't know. exist. They're real. You can see them. These things. That's what he hates. It caused he can be forgiven like we do. Where do people who learn and teach these things gather? Do you get together with like-minded people? No, I've been in a cocoon for 5 years. I'm happy to have you guys to talk to. My only friend left. I lost everybody in my life. Everybody. I still have my mother and my girlfriend Virginia, who has been on this path with me, and she stuck around because, boy, did I chew her ears off with some of these theories. And she didn't always get it all, but she listened, and I'm so grateful to her. But I lost a lot of people, because when you start becoming different than you were, when you start saying no, when you start loving yourself and protecting your space and your energy, people don't like it anymore, and they're like, wait a minute, that's not who I was friends with, so have at it. So yeah. Thank you so much to Kindred. Yes, I so appreciate you guys. It's just like you guys just changed my life. You guys I cannot tell you how, there's no words to tell you how grateful I am for this thing that we have going on. People don't like it. People don't like it because they cannot see you for who you have become. Like when you change, people don't change. So they look at you as if you're the same person that they used to take advantage of. They used to, whatever. And then suddenly you say no. And they're like, oh. So or let's say you write a book. You know how few of my older friends reached out to tell me how, to congratulate me on writing a book. This is my second book. I wrote another book in 2019, so I wasn't a stranger to this kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, people don't like it when you change, you guys. They don't like it because it rattles their cage. It rattles their universe, because if you change, then now what? Am I supposed to change? So, yeah. Hey, by the way, Jesus was not accepted in his own village, so I'm good with it. Not that I necessarily compare myself with Jesus, although I am, because Jesus said, everything I can do, you can do and better. I'm not saying it in a prideful way. I'm just saying, why not? We should all step in Jesus' feet. Thank you, Barbara. We'll see you next Tuesday. Remember what this means. This is a joke. This is going to be our inside joke. Every time I say it, I laugh. I know this is a new season in my life. It's time to learn these things next. I'm glad to be here. I love it that you're here. Love it, love it, love it. I think it's 10:55. 5 more minutes, you guys, and I'm going to go to bed. What is it? 7 to 11. That's for 3.5 hours. Holy smokes. Okay, so any pressing issues in 5 minutes? Thank you. I'm headed to sleep. Now I have more friends. Yep, Ali, me too. Lost. It's good, and it's good. We build others. We create others. It's good. What do you think about having multiple partners in a lifetime? Is it harmful? Should we save ourselves? No, I think you should do exactly what your heart desires, but you should never give yourself to someone for the wrong reason. In other words, until you love yourself unconditionally, do not hang out with anyone. That's very important. I used to be codependent and I had no idea. And I had this narcissistic guy who was just treating me like I was walking on eggshells with little gloves. So God forbid I don't piss him off. And then I realized, wait a minute, I don't love myself. I'm not allowing anybody to treat me this way. And finally I woke up, and then I had to hire a coach to help me overcome this codependency. And then slowly I found the way to love myself. I've been single for 4 years. I cannot tell you how happy I am. A man who ever comes into my life, not only single, but not on apps, not on dates, not responding to the, people sliding into my DMs. I'm just not interested. If somebody is interested in me, they know what to do. They know how to pursue me if they truly love what they see and if they understand what they're getting themselves into. You see what I'm saying? Because I love myself, and this time around in my life, I am not going to say yes that easily. No. I'm just going to be like, well, let's see what you have to offer first. Not financial or anything like that. I'm talking about what kind of person are you? What kind of mind do you have? What kind of, like, what do we have in common? I'm not going to just mold myself or be with you thinking that, even if I don't like a few things, I'm going to change you lately. This is how I used to be. Yeah? So it's okay to have as many partners as you want, no big deal, but don't do it until you love yourself, which means stay alone for a while. Stay alone and love yourself for a while. And then if you still believe that you need somebody in your life, then go ahead and do it. But I'll promise you that you might end up saying, no, not needed. No one changes, no one, only God does that. Well, see, God can't change you unless you are willing to change yourself. That's the problem. But most people are not willing to change. But yeah, we can't change anybody. No, we cannot change. The only thing we can change is ourselves. Learning. Yes, there's a very, very good book to read if you struggle with codependency. A book that I read, and I actually hired the author to coach me. It's Love and Relationship Secrets. Let me write down this because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a post with some of the books that I'm recommended. Love and Relationship Secrets. I'm going to write here so I don't forget. Books. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you guys. If you like Carmen, listen to I Am Sibo here on TikTok. He's also very good. Send me a link, Graciela, if you don't mind. No one change. Yeah, codependency. Too kindred. It's really good to get rid of your codependency. Thank you so much, Bentley. I appreciate it. And thank you. Okay. Wonderful, you guys. Okay, thank you so much. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm so grateful that you are all in my life. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Ali. If you guys have questions for me, especially since you are in these sessions, don't hesitate to send me private messages. I will do the best to answer to everybody, but everybody will get their answers. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and go to the videos that I posted about the Hermetic uINversity. On the second video, you will have the 3 questions. If you really want to work on this, do the shadow work, do the journaling, do the studying, do the because the only way, as Carl Jung would say, until we bring the subconscious into the conscious, it will run our life, and we will call it fate. Which means we need to bring the subconscious out in the open so we know what to heal. So therefore, the only way to bring the subconscious into the open is by writing. So journaling is so important. If you're having trouble journaling by handwriting, maybe do it by typing. Yeah, maybe even open some pages on your notes on your phone and do it that way. It's cool either way as long as you do it. I love you guys. It's 11:01, which is a perfect number. I love you, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Which means we're going to get together on another session of Hermetic uINversity next Tuesday. I love you. I love you. I love you. Let's see. How do I turn this off? I'm always having trouble with that. Oh, here. Okay, good night.